I'm Jake, and I don't follow nor know hardly anything about football. So, let's talk about a football movie. American Underdog is brought to us by directors Andrew and John Irwin and stars Zachary Levi, Anna Paquin, and Dennis Quaid. The story of NFL MVP quarterback Kurt Warner, who went from stocking shelves at a supermarket to becoming an American football star. So let's talk some football! So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know anything about football. What I said there in the beginning, that's the truth. Yes, I live in the South and I do not follow football. Not only do I not follow it, I don't know anything about it really. So knowing that, going into a movie about a real-life football star and his rise to become an NFL MVP quarterback, I was wondering, how am I going to take this movie? Now on a side note, while I don't follow football, and it's not just football, I don't really follow sports. I'm not a big sports fan. That being said, I do, for some odd reason, love me a good sports movie. I might not have any idea what the hell's going on when it shows the game parts, but the movies themselves, for some reason, I find really inspirational. And the trailer to this movie claimed that it was an inspirational, true life story, so I was kind of excited to see it, honestly. And what I got was an inspirational, true life story that was told pretty damn good. Now, this movie's not breaking the mold when it comes to these types of movies. Going into this film, you know what you are going to get. If you've seen Rudy, Hoosiers, Rocky, all those kinds of movies, that's where this movie falls in. And in saying that, this movie, while yes, it does center around football, it's not what I would really call a football movie. I think people that are fans of football are going to like that aspect of it because there is a lot of football in it, but it's not really about the football. It's about the real life drama of these people and the journey that they have, because it's not just Kurt Warner, it's his entire family, to get to where they inevitably end up. It's like Rocky in that way, that it's not a boxing movie with drama in it, it's a drama with boxing in it. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but you'll probably think about it long enough for me to go on to the next point. I really enjoyed this story, and one of the things that I like the most about it is that it felt genuine. Sometimes with these kind of inspirational movies, things happen in them that you feel like that was manufactured for this movie. And that may be the case here. Quite honestly, I don't know, beyond of course the parts of the movie where it shows like real world footage, what all in this movie is 100% real and what isn't. I don't know this guy's story. I can only take the movie at what it says. But I can say that none of it ever felt fake. It didn't feel manufactured. Sure, there were a few moments in the film that probably didn't happen exactly like that. The movie put them in there in that way for dramatic effect. But based on the real world video they show at the end of the movie and some of the stuff after the credits that they show at the screening I saw, some of this stuff looks like it actually did happen. It went down like this. By the time you get to the end, whether you're the biggest football fan ever or you're like me and you don't follow it at all, you're gonna just feel really good and it's really rousing and you're just gonna feel great for these people. I kind of want to know more about this Kurt Warner guy now, just based on this movie. The movie really dives into his story. The guy had a really rough run of it. He had talent, but he could never quite get that break that he needed so that people could see his talent and he could be successful. And a lot of it was him learning that yes, having talent is great, but it's not all you need. Sometimes you're just not ready in that stage of your life for this thing to happen. And I'm not talking about like some type of divine intervention or anything. I'm just talking about sometimes people aren't mature enough to do something that they do really want. Need to kind of marinate in life a little bit longer, and that's something this movie really does push forward. Now, another thing you can expect from this movie, like you get with all these types of inspirational stories, be they true or not, is that you know the movie is going to go and attempt to turn on the waterworks at some point. And American Underdog is no different in that respect. However, this does seem like one of those cases where, like the rest of the movie, it comes across as pretty genuine. It's not manufactured. I don't mind movies that have an emotional impact. I mean, who doesn't want that? I don't like when movies manufacture an emotion from you, when they do things specifically just for that. The only purpose the movie had was to try and get you to cry. And once it's done that, it's like, whatever, okay, we've achieved our goal. And now they think that they've done something special with the story because they elicited a physical, emotional reaction from the viewer. That's very fake in my opinion. When you get invested in character, when something that is natural to the story story happens, when people achieve something, or something genuine like that. And that is when you get an emotional reaction to a film. That is a genuine emotional reaction. And that is the type of emotional moments that we have in this movie. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there to you that are prone to letting the waterworks go when watching these types of movies. In the first half of the movie, there's not really a lot of that. But a little bit after the halfway point, there's a significant chunk of the film that it just does punch after punch after punch, and you get hit with a whole lot of shit. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there was a whole lot of sniffling and weeping sounds coming from the theater I was in. I don't know if there were many dry eyes in the house. In fact, no shit, side story real quick. There was a guy, and I'm not judging by any means, he was a few seats down from me, and you could tell he was holding it in, but this guy at one point, for about 5 minutes straight, was bawling like a baby. So just know that, if you're that type, that this movie, it's gonna get you. Overall, the story is very enjoyable, and as the trailer says, it is truly inspirational. Performance-wise, everything is looking really good here too. Zachary Levi, I gotta say, I've never really thought too highly of the guy. Never had an issue with him or anything, but he hasn't really done anything that just blew me away. Now, I liked him in Shazam, but that was much more a comedic role. Here, this is not comedy. This is straight up drama, and the guy kills it. Anna Paquin, she's another one. I think she is a good actress, but she just hasn't had that role yet that me, myself, have experienced that just really blew me away. This may be that one. She does a fantastic job as Kurt Warner's wife, Brenda. I totally believe the relationship between these two. They had great chemistry. Dennis Quaid shows up as well as Coach Dick Vermeil, which if you follow football, I guess you'll know who that is. I didn't. And he does a solid job as well. His performance is probably the most inspirational movie-esque out of everybody's, I will say. That doesn't mean it's bad. That just means he fits real nicely within this genre. This isn't the first type of movie like this that we've seen him in, by the way. Everybody else does a great job too, but I got a real quick thought, a special honorable mention to Hayden Zeller. Zeller plays Warner's young stepson, Zach, and this kid did fantastic. Apparently, in real life, he is blind, much like his character in this film, and he does a stellar job. He is wonderful, and yes, as you can guess, some of those tear-jerking moments in the film, he is a part of. What I thought was really interesting about this character and the story is that while American Underdog is mainly about Kurt Warner and his family, it's kind of about Zeller's character, Zach, as well. He is an underdog. Due to an injury he received when he was 4 months old, he's got a lot of disabilities, but he continues to shock everybody and move forward with life. Zeller did a fantastic job portraying this character and was very believable in the role. Overall, all the performances here were great across the board, and the chemistry between everyone, not just Levi and Paquin, was fantastic. It all clicked just right. This is a wonderful cast. Guys, American Underdog was a really damn good movie. All I was asking for was an enjoyable enough, inspirational true life story, and I got a lot more than that. They really put a lot more effort into this film than you typically get in these kinds of movies. That's not disparaging any other true life inspirational movies like this, but man, this movie just did it really well. You can tell that there was a lot of passion, heart, and love in this film. It is a very relatable, inspirational, triumphant story. The performances are all wonderful across the board, and at the end of this film, you will just feel great. The movie hits you hard in some parts, but it never seems manufactured. This is a very genuine seeming film, and it is absolutely worth a buy.
Do it! Do it!
Show me the money!
Do it!
You motherfucker!
So,
Show me the money!
do it!
This movie's got some emotional heart like a mofo. So if you're looking for a truly inspirational, true life story for the night, then check out American Underdog. Regardless if you follow sports or not, like me, I don't, and I think you're gonna have a great time with it. So there it is, guys, my review of American Underdog. If you enjoyed, want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you want to help out the channel, check out my Patreon in the description below and become a jarhead and get some of the awesome benefits that go along with that, like these guys. And possibly join my top tier and become a bad motherfucker like my man Greg C and Dragon Khan. If you liked what I had to say, give me a like. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, stay sexy, Cedar Rapids.
Go out there and you show the world what I've known all along.
So this really doesn't have much to do with the actual movie itself, but I did notice, while doing a little bit of research for the movie before doing this review, going through the cast and all the people that are in it, I noticed the name of one of the actors in the film. His name is O.J. Keith Simpson, and he's playing a football player. Well, that's unfortunate. All I can say if I ever met this guy was, I think I'd just drop the O.J. and go with Keith, buddy.